He's a strong critic of the Buhari administration and during the elections campaigned hard against the incumbent. Now Buhari has been elected again for a second term in office. What does that mean for anti-government critics like him? We are talking about Charlie Boy Oputa, musician, cum, protester and government activist. Good to have you.
Good to be here.
So, basic question, what happens? I know the number of times I've had a conversation with you and you kept saying this government has to go. The administration has been re-elected. What does that mean for you and other anti-government activists just like you?
What that means for me, and I hope for a lot of other Nigerians, is that we need to stay on the ball, start agitating for good governance, to keep holding leadership accountable. Even if we do that with the last bit of our blood, that's what we ought to do, you know? Because I think it's time we get the real change that the country is desperate for. Not all this...
You seem pretty disappointed that this president is back for the second term. What can you do, or what do you plan to do if you have actually had that conversation or thought about it? What do you plan to do to ensure that this president does fulfill all the promises that he made during his campaign, this one and the previous?
Well, because we can't take up arms and go into the streets, I wouldn't advocate for that. So we need to be strategic in whatever we plan to do, and that's to, number one, keep getting the people more aware, more conscious of the kind of rot, the kind of problem they're in right now.
The presidential election may not have come as a surprise, or the outcome of the presidential election may have not come as a surprise to some, but what happened in the Senate during the senatorial elections probably shocked quite a number of people. Example, Senate President Bukola Saraki is not going to be coming back. A lot of very prominent politicians, senators are not going to be coming back. Do you think that could make a difference with the new crop of senators that we're going to have, the new crop of legislators, also the House of Reps will have new members? Do you think that could make a difference in governance this time?
Sometimes, you know, I just wonder whether Nigerians are really ready for the change that they so desperately need. Sometimes I really wonder. But I know that this kind of impunity, this kind of injustice can't last for long. I know that, and I can feel that. So like as I said, you know, we need to keep agitating. Our voice needs to get louder. We need to be strategic, because I'd already said that I'm not looking at 23? No, I'm not looking at 2019, because I know we've already lost that.
Oh,
I'm looking at 2020. I've already said that. What
were the indications that told you that this president was going to be re-elected in this election?
Because the bloody lesser evil, they were not serious about being that kind of opposition that would take them out, you know? They were out-rigged, they were out everything. So why? Nobody the same thing. Accra and Beans, not the same thing now. They're all the same people. So why did the other one allow this one to rig him out?
So you're trying to say rigging was going to be the way, but one was out-rigged?
Of course, now, since 1960, nobody rigging, no, they do to the win election. Fella never talk. It's rigging now. Who out-rigs the other, you know? But, you know, I was a little disappointed with the alternative, because they couldn't come together, even though we'd had a meeting and everybody saw the need of really coming together, you know. They still wouldn't have won, but we would have been able to make a strongest impression, cause some disruption, and keep going. Because this is a marathon fight. It's not a dash, it's not a sprint. In fact, our work as Mumu Don't Do movement starts after the election.
Okay, so what are the plans afterwards?
Not be everything go talk for TV.
No vex.
But the most important is to keep sensitizing Mumu Nigerians, and that's why we're going to open a Mumu clinic.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, so let's talk about your recent tweet. Your tweet was against what was going on in Lagos against Igbos. You know, there have been reports that Igbos have been attacked in Lagos ahead of the gubernatorial elections coming up, you know, quite soon. Now, you tweeted saying that Tinubu is not the only gangster. If he can enslave Lagosians, he should not do that with Igbos. What brought about that rant, and what were you aiming to achieve by attacking Tinubu?
I wasn't attacking Tinubu. I was just expressing myself. Okay.
Why
and why not Tinubu now? He's supposed to be the Capone now, the Godfather, Abi? So they say. Yeah, and I just asked him to stop harassing our people there. That's all.
But what is the evidence you have that it's Tinubu that is harassing Igbos in Lagos?
If you go Lagos, you go see now. Look around, you go see. If you have your ears on the ground, you will hear. And that's why I say he's not the only gangster. Yes!
So what can Igbos do under this circumstance? Because there are a lot of Igbos who are practically Lagosians. They have their businesses there. I mean, their livelihoods are there, and some of them lost it during this mini fracas that is going on. Now, some people are even worried about what would happen when the gubernatorial elections begin on Saturday. What are your thoughts? What's your advice to Igbos in Lagos?
My advice to our Igbo brothers in Lagos is to go back home.
Really?
Yes, take a place like Nnewi, take a place like Onitsha, take a place like Aba, make it our Lagos. We're hardworking people, and in any kind of weather we can survive. So we better start having that, you know, going back home mentality to start to build our own economic hub. Because, I mean, there's injustice. Don't get me wrong. There's injustice all over. There's injustice in the Middle Belt. There's injustice in Niger Delta. There's injustice all over Nigeria. Okay? So, I mean, it's either we come to the table and sort this thing out, or we go our separate ways. I don't get time for any win-win-win. I don't tire, but I know retire.
All right, we've been talking to Charlie Boy Oputa, a very prominent activist, anti-government protester, and a musician, using his art to talk about, according to him, the injustices many Nigerians have faced. You are still watching Roots TV Nigeria. My name is Gloria Oje Emodi. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button on the YouTube page. Stay with us.